one day, I was talking to my therapist and I realized that I have major control issues. I like to have everything planned out. I've tried to strive so much on my own and try to really just like figure it out, make it happen. And the result of that is God saying, hey, you don't trust me like you say you do, because you're trying to control the outcome. You're trying to control every little thing. You say you trust me, but your actions show that you're trying to constantly do things on your own. My faith is being tested because I'm currently in the process of trying to fully surrender my desires and take my hands off of the situation and let go, which is incredibly hard but necessary. I want to get to the point where I don't desire the thing or the blessing more than I desire the person and the spirit, which is God, that bestows the blessing. Welcome back to the Easy Talk Show. I'm your host, Easy Ward. This is the show where you'll get nourishment for your needs, food for your soul, and of course, healing for your hearts. Thank you for all the love from episode 16 and all the feedback from the Maximizing Your Singleness series. Man, thank you. Like, I got a lot of feedback from the list, talking about, things that you could be doing, while in that season of your life, and really just a lot of just great feedback overall. So thank you all for all the support, all the love. But we are on to something new. Oh, before I go any further, if you are new to my channel, please like, comment, or subscribe to Easy Ward TV. Once again, if you're new to my channel, please like, comment, or subscribe to Easy Ward TV. Whoa. So today, this topic is something that I am currently in and something that I'm learning. And I gotta look at my camera and say this. I got control issues. The title of this is episode 17, and this is titled, I Got Control Issues. And we're going to unpack what that means. But I have control issues, and I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you that. So we're going to dive into that today and talk about what it means to have control issues and really all that encompasses having control issues. So I know you're probably asking what does that mean? Where does that come from? And lately, God has been taking me through a season of extreme trust and faith. And with that, I realized that I have major control issues. And when I say that, this is the season I'm in right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of things in my life. My career, my purpose, just things I'm seeking clarity on, and I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm doing all things that people say you should do, and things are still not oftentimes moving in the natural like I think that they should. Something is moving in the spirit, but I can't see it. And right now, for me, what I've learned is that I've tried to strive so much on my own and try to really just like figure it out, make it happen. And the result of that is God saying, hey, you don't trust me like you say you do, because you're trying to control the outcome. You're trying to control every little thing. And you say you trust me, but your actions show that you're trying to constantly do things on your own. And for me right now, what I realize is that my faith is being tested because I like to have everything planned out, legit, everything organized, structured, and I want to know everything figured out to the T. Like, okay, by this month I'm gonna be doing this. By this month I'm gonna be doing that. And right now, where I'm at in my life, I don't have that clarity. And I've got to this point because one day, I was talking to my therapist and she was saying, you got to let go. And when she said that, it really stuck out to me because what it was telling me is that I have my hands on it too much. Like I got my hands on I have my hands on the situation, the outcome, the overall idea that I should be somewhere that I'm not, or that I should be further than I am, or that I should have the answer figured out today. When God is like, no, right now you're present here. So I'm currently in the process of trying to fully surrender my desires and take my hands off of the situation and let go, which is incredibly hard but necessary, because this is the place that I'm trying to get to. I want to get to the point where I don't desire the thing or the blessing more than I desire the person and the spirit, which is God, that bestows the blessing. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back. I'm trying to get to the point. This is just me though. I can't speak for anybody else. This is just me. I want to get to the point where I don't desire the blessing, the thing, the place, the situation, the whatever the thing is, more than I desire the person, God. When I say person, I'm talking about God, that bestows the blessing. And for me, that's been hard, because if I'm being honest, if I'm being really transparent and all the way real, I think sometimes my own ambition can become an idol. My own drive can become a idol on my heart. And I say that because, we all have goals. We all have, things we want to accomplish. But right now, I think, especially in the Christian community, we're so, a lot of messages are taught about self, and not only self, but they taught about just what you can get. Like, you do this and you get this. And I've learned that that's not, sometimes you can go through seasons of suffering. Sometimes you're going to go through seasons where nothing looks like anything is going on, but will you be faithful in that season? And all of this that I've learned has really brought me to the one thing of that, you have real control issues. You want to control everything. And for me, and I think for myself and really anyone out there watching, I think we get so caught up in striving by our own merit and trying to make it all happen that you lose sight of, okay, this is God's vision. This is not mine anyway. So yes, I'm not telling you to not work or not put effort toward the thing. I'm just saying that when you work and then release it. Work and let go. Work and give it to God. Because when you do that, you're saying, God, I trust that the outcome, you all things are working together for my good regardless. So even if right now the outcome doesn't look like how I think it should look, I still trust you enough to say, you know what, this is my hands are off the situation. You got it. And, for me, that's where I'm trying to get to, which is, y'all, if I'm being real, it is extremely hard to fully release and let go. It's something that, I have to work at daily. And some of the ways I do that is I'm in prayer time, in my prayer time, in my devotion time, and my praise and worship time, I'm really trying to actively get on my knees and pray out God, I need help, because this is not, it doesn't feel natural to fully just let it all go, and have no control. But one thing I've always learned is that at the point of you fully letting go is in the point when God always comes in. And every time in my life where I've let go of situation, I took my hands off of it, God came in and worked in marvelous ways. But I had to get to the point where I almost didn't care or didn't desire for the thing. And so that's where I'm trying to get to now. I want to get to the point now where I'm almost not even, I'm not going to say I don't care, but almost I'm to the point where the outcome, the turnout, nothing matters on the other side. The only thing that matters is me being obedient and me fully releasing it. And, and I really want to talk about too, my desire ultimately is to be obedient and continuously give God my yes. And like I said, I almost want to get to the point where I don't have any desires. It's not to say that I don't want for anything, but it's more so saying that my desires are in Him. And when they are in Him, I know that I'm pleasing in His sight, and I'm not trying to figure everything out on my own, which I think sometimes can cause you a lot of stress, and really just overall confusion. So I got a few verses that, I want to share that I think kind of really speaks to the season that a lot of us are in right now. I've been talking to a lot of different friends of mine, and a lot of us are all in seasons where we're trying to figure out what's next. We're trying to figure out, what God has for us next. But sometimes, it doesn't always look like anything is happening, but those are times you got to trust him. So, in Psalms, I've been reading a lot of just powerful, profound verses. So Psalm 34:19, the righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to the rescue each time. The next verse is Psalms 34:22, but the Lord will redeem those who serve him. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. Psalms 34, verses 4-7. I prayed to the Lord, and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. In my desperation, I prayed, and the Lord listened. He saved me from all my troubles, for the angel of the Lord is a guard. He surrounds and defends all who fear him. So those are just some verses that really, really have been kind of helping me stay encouraged in this season, and really make sure that I'm not striving so much on my own, and just really reassuring me that, hey, you know what? You're going to suffer sometimes. There are going to be times where you can't figure everything out, but will you take your hand off of the situation and give it to God? So, I hope this blessed you all today. This is where I'm at currently. I'm trying to fully release, give it to God, let him have it, and not be so caught up in the blessing that I miss my now, or really be so caught up in the thing that I miss really giving it to him all the way. So that's what I have for today. I know Dan and I are gonna have a really, really great discussion around this. So, we're gonna open it up, and Dan, what you thinking about today's conversation?
Whew. This is one of the ones. First of all, the title is I got control issues. Boy, oh boy, you reading you reading a lot of people out here, my boy.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got a couple questions, and then I got a couple things that I guess we could just talk about in general. And you kind of touched on it, but like, what was that moment like when you had the revelation that, you know what, I might have too much control? Like,
man, so it's a few things. So what I realized is that sometimes I have certain desires and certain things that I pray for in my quiet time with God, right? And I got to a point where I realized, I was like, hold on, I want this to happen so much that I like, it's the only thing I care about, and I want it to happen a certain way. And for me, sometimes, how they say, keep praying for stuff. Sometimes me praying for stuff all the time is a sign of almost like I'm worrying. I'm trying to control, like I'm trying to make sure God don't forget about it when he heard me the first time. And it's been seasons where it'll be things that I pray for and I'll legit release it. I'll forget about it. Like, and that's what I was saying about earlier. I'll forget about it. And when I forget about it, I look up like, you know what? I pray for this. But the things I'm trying to control, yeah, I pray for them every day, all the time, and I don't release it. So then I realized, I was like, hold up, you know what? I'm praying for these things, but I haven't fully released it. Like, a part of me questions whether or not he's going to do it, whether or not the promise he said that he asked for me is going to be fulfilled. So that's when I realized, I'm like, hold up, you not only have control issues, you got trust issues. You got faith issues. Your faith is not as strong as you say it is. Because if it was, you just pray, let it go. Almost letting it go to the point where you don't care about it or don't think about it. Mm-hmm. And for me, I know that I have to get to the point where I almost legit do not care. I'm not like, that's why I keep saying the word striving, because I'm not trying. Like, I'm just, hey God, this is what I'm coming to you about, say it, release it, move on. And oftentimes I've seen in my life, whenever I release it, bam. But like releasing it comes with like this really total surrender of like, hey, if it's your will, not mine, if it's yours. So either way, I'm good. But getting to that point has been my hard part.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at now. Like I'm trying to get back to that place because I know that if I get to that place, that's the sweetest place I can be in him.
This is so good because everybody can identify with what you're talking about. Everybody has their own story.
Yes.
But you have experienced as a human this. It made me think about something I wanted to ask you about, which is the difference between a no and a not yet. And talk to me a little bit about no versus not yet.
Man, that's a really good question. And when you say that, like, just so I can answer correctly or attempt to answer correctly, are you saying when God gives you a no, or?
Yes. Sometimes we have an idea of what, like you said, where we think we should be.
Yeah.
And that might not be our purpose.
Yeah.
Because we're called to live out our purpose. And we might get a no for that thing. But sometimes we are put and given these passions and desires to actually pursue them. Yeah. But a lot of times it's going to take, God is using us in seasons to make sure we have the mold, the fit, the character, the patience, all these things that will be our armor or protection or get us through the battles. Because a lot of times, if we got everything we wanted when we wanted them, it might not shape the way we think because we might not be ready for that. And God, I think, sometimes protects us from our own desires and ambitions. And also sometimes I think that God will tell us not yet because we do have a little bit too much skin in the game. And if we were rewarded whatever we wanted when we wanted it, we would then turn ourselves into our own idols.
Yes. So
no versus not yet.
No is protection. No is always protection because he knows everything, all things. So no, a lot of times is him seeing 5, 10 years, 6 months, 2 months, 2 days, down the road, that the thing that you're praying for, whether it be a job situation, whether it be a business, he sees that one, like that thing may not be the best thing for you, and it may not ultimately give glory to his kingdom. Because sometimes what I've learned, sometimes the no is because our motives aren't right. Our desires and overall ambitions about what it is we're seeking God for isn't aligned with his will. So no sometimes is often due to overall protection. Not yet is preparation. So when you get a not yet, God is saying, my son, my daughter, it's still some more cultivating that you need done in your life. Character refinement, making sure that not only are you ready for the thing, but the thing is ready for you, whether it be a job, a new idea, a new concept you're working on. I mean, it could be anything, a new business, like you're going to move across, the country, to pursue your dreams. I mean, sometimes that thing has to be prepared for you, as well as you're getting prepared for it. It's not always just like God is so strategic, so like, I mean, his timing is perfect. Like you could just it's just not your time yet. Literally, sometimes it's just not our time yet. And I think for me, I've learned to be okay and patient with it not being my time yet. Like it's okay because I'm telling you, I don't want anything that's not mine. Anything, nothing. I don't want nothing that's not mine. And on top of that, I don't want anything too soon or too late. I want it on time when he knows that I'm ready to receive it. So that's what a not yet a lot of times is. It's like it's a character development process. It's you growing. It's you being refined. It's him taking the It's him taking the impurities off of you and making sure that you are ready for what it is that he has for you, that you're praying for, and ultimately so that you can bear fruit for his kingdom.